of the 5 candidates, and we do send our prayers out to Susana Martinez. We got the call last evening that she had to leave and be with her father in some very serious times, and so we will continue on. This evening begins a series that the ATP plans to bring to the people for their education. A series of forums with candidates who are interviewing for a job with you. And we plan on trying to bring them all the way up through the primaries and through the general election, and so that we can give information to you. And tonight you will be given some information back to our candidates. A couple of quick announcements. You should have on your seat a couple of advertisements. The ATP obviously wants to get their own pitch in for our next meet and greet, which is on March 5th, and you can look at that flyer there. You'll also note on the opposite side that the Albuquerque Tea Party is bringing in an evening with David Horowitz. And I think that will be an entertaining and informative evening that I think you really will enjoy. And you can read that second flyer. The last thing, on March 9th, if you're wanting to get involved with your local government, our community outreach team is having an organizational meeting at the UNM Continuing Education Center on March the 9th, and you can look at our website for those pieces of information. So let's get on to our educational forum this evening. Seated here in front of you tonight are 4 of the individuals interviewing for the job of governor with you for the state of New Mexico. Tonight we will be asking them questions about their beliefs and their policies, specifically those that align with the Albuquerque Tea Party's mission of constitutional issues and individual rights. So let me explain how the evening will be conducted pretty rapidly here. In a moment we'll have a letter that Susana Martinez has written to each of you explaining her reason for not being here, and then the other candidates are going to introduce themselves. Once they have completed that, we have some pre-programmed questions that we are going to ask them and give them each a chance to answer. And then you are going to ask them questions, and we should have some volunteers that are ready to come down the aisles and pick up your questions so that we can screen them just a little bit and get those questions asked. The candidates will have each 2 minutes, and we have a timekeeper that will be warning them when their last 30 seconds is coming and when their time is up. They will each have 2 minutes to answer the questions. In that first section, we've also given them a chance to speak out of turn 1 time. And so if they have a clarification that they'd like to ask for, or if they have something that came to mind out of turn, they'll have a chance to do that, and then we'll continue on with the questions for the evening. When we've completed those pre-programmed questions again, and then we'll start with your questions. And we'll continue on in an order that we got together with the campaigns and selected an order. Actually did it in a random fashion, but the campaigns have agreed on that, and so we will continue in that order this evening. So, again, to start out the introductions, I would ask that Darren White Jr., who is coming to read a letter to you from Susana Martinez.
Yes, as I mentioned, my name is Darren White Jr. Most of you might know my dad. He was a former Bernalillo County Sheriff. He wanted to be here this evening, but he had a prior speaking engagement, so I am filling in for him. So on behalf of Susana Martinez, the Doñana County District Attorney and Republican gubernatorial candidate, I want to read this short letter. I sincerely apologize for being unable to attend tonight's forum. I hope to have the opportunity in the near future to share my vision of reform and accountability for New Mexico in addition to answering your questions in person. Unfortunately, my father was diagnosed with cancer yesterday and has been admitted to a hospital in El Paso for emergency surgery and treatment. He suffers from Alzheimer's, and I must make decisions regarding his care and treatment. While I enjoyed participating in Thursday's debate in Clovis, I was looking forward to tonight's forum, but the needs of my family come first, and I'm by my father's side of the hospital. Thank you for your understanding, and I expect to be back on the campaign trail soon. Sincerely, Susana Martinez.
And so next, Pete Domenici Jr.
Thank you. Since I'm the first speaker, I want to just echo Godspeed for Susana and her family. I also want to say go Lobos. And then I want to introduce myself. And the way I want to introduce myself is by telling you what I believe. And I have a series of beliefs. I set these out in my various literature and my website, but I want to make sure everyone that's here today and made the effort to come is clear on those. I believe in limited government to protect unalienable rights. I believe in cutting government spending to what is based on need, not greed. I believe in upholding the 10th Amendment of the Bill of Rights, which protects important powers and reserves them to the states. I believe in defending the unborn who cannot protect themselves. I believe in lowering taxes so that we can keep more of the money we earn. I believe in expanding private sector jobs, not government jobs. I believe in restoring the death penalty to deter and punish those who murder our law enforcement officers. I believe in granting driver's licenses only to legal residents.
And as you can see, we have a little oral reminder also. Next, Alan Way.
I'm Alan Way. The first thing I'd like to say to this crowd is you may remember an old country song called I Was Country Before Country Was Cool.
Right.
Well, I was at the first Tea Party, and I was Tea Party before it was cool. I'm a business executive, run a business for 31 years, retired Marine Reserve Officer, service in 3 wars, and the U.S. expedition into Somalia. I'm running for office for the first time. I'm running for office for the last time, exclusive of re-election if I'm elected your governor. Why am I running? I'm running to change the way we do business in Santa Fe and get government off our backs. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I'm a strong believer in the 10th Amendment. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-family. I oppose any move to change the definition of what marriage is between a man and a woman. I believe in the death penalty. I believe in the death penalty for egregious crimes going beyond just law enforcement officers. And I think the conditions in New Mexico are reflective of a recent quote by the President of the American Taxpayers Union. When you subsidize poverty and failure, you get more of the same. If I'm elected your next governor, I intend to go to Santa Fe and change things. Thank you.
I'm going to try something a little bit different. My name is Doug Turner. I've tried to meet most of you. I don't think I've had a chance. I've never run for office before, and I think I'm here really for the same reasons all of you are here, because I've really had enough of what's gone on in this state for the last 8 years. The way we've squandered our resources, we have bankrupted our state, we are giving our children the worst education that any state provides to children in the country, and I think that the right people to get involved in this are people who work for a living, people who have families. I'm a small business person. I've got 2 young children, a 3-year-old and a 5-month-old. And so I think that those of us who work for a living really are the best people to lead a state that is in such dire straits. So I'm here today, not someone who's doing this because I need a new job or a new career, not someone who's doing this because I need a pension, but someone who's doing this because I think we live on this earth for a very short time. And if we can leave this earth in a better place than when we arrived, we've had a full life. And so that's why I'm in it, and hopefully over the next hour and a half you'll hear what I believe. Thank you for coming.
I'm Janice Arnold-Jones. I'm an Air Force brat, a resident of New Mexico since 1963, a graduate of the old Albuquerque High School and UNM. My husband, John Jones, is a retired Navy commander. He has been my arm candy for 35 years in those kingdoms. We have a son, Robert, and a daughter, Mary. I am a Navy wife, mom, entrepreneur, business manager, soccer coach, and community volunteer. I am a 4-term member of the New Mexico House of Representatives. I serve on the Tax Committee as well as the Voters Committee. As a member of your unpaid citizen legislature, I have served by being prepared, reading the legislation, asking tough questions, and demanding that the information be available and accessible. When our Constitution was trampled and tax bills were log rolled, I stood against the Speaker of the House in defense of